Meanwhile, in the murder shed,
Welcome to Your Lame Friends. I want to talk about things.
I love that so much.
Tried to get a PlayStation 5 this week. They came out, and
I want one so
I've been
bad.
trying to get a PlayStation 5 for 2 months now, ever since the pre-release.
I didn't get on the pre-release train because they did that bullshit lottery. Anytime you do anything like that,
Yep.
someone with coding skill who
Will hack it.
They will hack it. They will find a way. It's happening with the pre-orders too, because there are 0 in store.
I don't pre-order anything anymore, including PlayStation 5s, which means that, yeah, I was boned too. It's just never going to happen.
I am in the conspiracy camp that the initial part of a launch of any new console is
Scarcity?
scarcity is like a huge part of it. They want scalpers. They want to see PlayStation 5s going for $3,000 online.
But it's
I just want 10 hours of
It's the same thing I've always wondered about live ticket sales for music. They always get scalped. They always get sucked up. There doesn't seem to be a lot of initiative to fix it.
Well, because all of the tickets get sold right away. They don't have to worry about...
But they do have to worry about it. If you make it too much bullshit for too long, people will stop going. You'll eventually suffer. So they've got to be getting something out of it besides just the nut that was expected if that wasn't happening.
And I can't remember specifically who it was, but there was a big concert where scalpers bought all of the tickets for like the first 5 rows, tried to jack up the prices to sell them back, couldn't do it, so this incredibly famous band had an empty
Front
4
row.
or 5, front row.
I mean, that's just Vampire Weekend every day. So, for me, what I think it is one of the big metrics they like to use in press kits and marketing and all that is how fast they sold out.
Yes.
Sold out in 15 seconds. That's a marketable phrase.
Whether or not it means anything, it
it's
creates the impression of a demand.
You basically you sold
That's
out
fair.
because the internet exists.
Yeah.
That's why you sold out in 15 seconds.
Yes.
Because there's the internet.
Yeah, it's not
isn't-
really impressive.
It's not
but
impressive. but
It's
it
something you can
sounds
say about yourself,
Yeah.
like a celebrity retweeting your show. Yeah, and all it means for us is we don't have a PlayStation 5 to talk about the games on. That's it. That's
So the only silver lining for not getting one of the initial releases is there is almost always some day one bug or glitch.
it's why I don't pre-order anything.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm always a month out
At
from
least.
release. You know,
At least.
I mean, I'm just talking for games. I don't
Yeah.
actually buy consoles very often.
Yeah.
By the time I buy a console, it's almost always really old. It took me a year and a half or more or something to buy a Switch, and I only have a PlayStation 4 because you gave me your cast off. Like that's the only reason I've even got one.
No, if we wait until after the Christmas season to buy a PS5,
If we can fit it in here, I think the PlayStation 5 is bigger than the Murder Shed.
only by a little bit.
It's got more bugs in it too.
Well, no, and those side things, the side panels, they come off. You can just take them off and squeeze it through the door.
What defines a Christmas season?
Hey, now don't start that again.
I gotta
Topic
pee real quick.
change. That's a good one.
Topic change. Oh,
Ooh,
topic
topic
change.
change.
I didn't realize that. It took me a second. That's funny.
So they cast a black woman as the new 007,
Daniel Craig?
LaShawna Lynch.
I'm a Bond fan, I guess, like in the way that anyone that kind of had a childhood in the 80s and 90s was a Bond fan because everybody was or whatever. Like, she's playing 007 in this movie because James Bond isn't 007 anymore.
It's a handoff. It's a baton.
In the franchise, it's probably a baton thing. Or they might be floating a trial balloon about a baton thing. In the movie, it's probably going to be the baton wasn't passed by James Bond. It's just he walked away and they gave the number to somebody else and he comes back into the story for some reason and she's already been 007 because they needed one. And who cares what your gender or sex or skin tone or anything is if you can kill people real good. Is that movie's coming out in like April?
April
right?
of next year.
But every time I get on my phone, I am seeing hardcore media blitzes for that movie like it's about to come out. It is like the talk show rounds the week before a movie's release. But it's not coming out for months. Are they going to try to keep this up? Like, are they going to do a sustained media blitz for 6 months?
No, it's like they had
They had it all ready to go before it got delayed, so they just pushed it all out.
No, and I was gonna say like TweetDeck or something where you pre-program like all of this stuff and nobody hit cancel when it got pushed back.
No, I just fundamentally don't understand what the objection is to a black woman or a black man or a white woman or whatever being 007. I don't get it. In the world that 007 exists in, James Bond wasn't the first and he won't be the last. I don't get it's not as if they've cast a black woman to be the character James Bond. And you know what I'm saying? And who cares what your skin tone or ethnicity or gender is if you're really good at killing people? Because that's what people with 2 O's do, is they kill people.
Racists.
They kill racists?
Well, I wish they killed racists. I think people's objection to a black woman being a 007 is simply that they have a fake fictional tradition in their fake fictional world that was never intended by the originator of that fiction. And they hold on to it because it reinforces their own insecurities.
I could actually see Ian Fleming being pissed off that 007 is a black woman. Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Yeah. Yeah. James Bond, the ornithologist, go fuck yourself. Okay.
He's not an ornithologist. He fucked an ostrich.
Allegedly.
It only takes one 007 to fuck an ostrich. Let's be honest.
That's true. It takes 2 people to fuck an ostrich or one 007. I don't care what gender or race they are. That's why you hire someone to be a 007, because it only takes one of them to fuck an ostrich and to kill a bunch of people.
I bet a 007 could fuck a healthy ostrich.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. There's our first merch, man. I bet a 007 could fuck a healthy ostrich, allegedly.
Oh, cool. I feel like getting sued by Canada.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
He'll be really nice about it.
Yeah, because Letterkenny is Canada, right? Yes, right? Because Letterkenny is Canada, and I suggest you let that marinate.
Too much fun.
Speaking of controversy, The Mandalorian. Watched the 2nd episode of Mandalorian. Liked it great. It's a great episode. The backlash about Baby Yoda munching on those eggs is astonishing me. Like I am seeing articles. There's a Vanity Fair article about how Baby Yoda is canceled because of that episode. Like, people are mad. Apparently it's anti-sexist or anti-woman or something, and it's really
anti-sexist,
and it's really anti-sexist. It's sexist or anti-woman or something, and it's deeply offensive somehow. I've seen this everywhere, and I don't understand why that's such a controversial. I just don't get it.
Can I have an omelet anymore then? Because they're unfertilized eggs.
They're unfertilized eggs. I guess it's because she's sentient.
I guess she's taking them to her husband. She didn't care. She counted them. We watched her do it.
Yeah, she knows how to count.
Yeah.
So she knows that some of them have gone missing.
I thought that it was actually kind of like a pro-feminist thing, because they finally made a lizard character that didn't have boobs.
Thank you.
A lizard wouldn't have boobs.
Thank you. I always have to appreciate that when I see stuff like that.
I am racist because I thought she could save me a lot of money on my car insurance. But apart from that,
watching that entire episode, I appreciated at the end that it wasn't a big deal. Because the entire episode, every time he eats an egg, you're like, oh shit, is she gonna lose it this time? Like, is this going to be the time when he does something that actually gets him in trouble, as opposed to just being cute?
Yeah.
And it's like it was an added like little extra bit of tension. Oh my God, is this when it's going to blow up? Is this when it's going to blow up? Okay, now is this when it's finally going to start to get bad?
And it never really did.
And it never did until he ate the spider egg. And then he ate the spider egg, and then everything went bad.
It hit the fan. I still haven't wrapped my brain around what the actual objection is. And I've read a couple articles, and I still don't really get what the objection is. And I'm not trying to be offensive when I say this.
No.
Different species hunt and eat each other, and one of the survival mechanisms is to have multiple eggs because they won't all survive. I don't get what the thing is. And so there's kind of a unclench your ass cheeks, Chief Dalbert. Leave a comment if you get that reference. This is, to me, the definition of recreational outrage. I'm missing something.
Maybe. I need to look it up because I want to see what the outrage is. because obviously I am missing something.
Yeah.
And I would like to educate myself on that.
Well, then, so then after everything else that we talked about, we watched the 3rd episode of this goddamn show, and in that episode, the eggs got fertilized, and Yoda no longer had any interest in eating them. He was like, look at a little baby.
Yeah, and there was only one baby.
Yeah.
They the way they were doting and everything, it looks like there was only ever going to be one baby.
Yeah. Where it's just like, you should let this play out. The mom and the baby eggs didn't all die at the end of the episode, so they're going to be in the next one. Why don't you wait a little while to be really mad about something that you turn out to be wrong about?
Okay, here's a lizard character who honestly, to me, is a great progression because she is underestimated. She cannot speak a language that he can speak. He tries, to get on.
And you assume she can't understand him. Not only can she's good enough with robots to fix it.
Yes. Additionally, she gets to use Richard Attaway's voice to talk to him. That's fucking awesome. I've seen people complain about member berries in the show, which we should talk about what defines a member berry.
What the heck? People complaining about member berries in Mandalorian are wrong.
Yes.
Mandalorian is the test case of how you do member berries correctly.
Is Anakin's, and it's not proven that it's Anakin's, but why is that pod racer engine not member berries? Because everyone says it is.
I'll respond to it honestly, but my first response is, why is it member berries? Can you tell me why it's member berries?
I can't because
not you. Yes.
It makes complete sense to me that on Tatooine, a scrap engine would show up. It would be member berries if he was like, "Yep, bought this off of a hut and heard it was used for pod racing in the old days."
Yes,
that would be member berries.
And what I said out loud was, "That's great." And what I said that's great about was not that it was Anakin's pod racer. It's that no one was talking about that it was Anakin's pod racer.
Exactly.
It's not Finn picking up the training droid.
Yeah.
It's that, Mandalorian hasn't done that, where he's in the middle of doing something else, and for 3 seconds everything stops and he shows you a thing. It's the pod racer is achieving a purpose, and if it happens to look like Anakin's, who cares? But everything I've seen in the Mandalorian, maybe I'm too big of a Star Wars fan. It's just like, oh, that was awesome. That was subtle. That didn't call attention to itself. It just existed in the world because things that exist in the world exist in the world.
A great example of something that's a callback that is the black saber, maybe, but that's totally
that's
works.
From Clone Wars and from
that's
Rebels.
That's what I mean.
Right,
That's
and
a
so
callback. But
well, it's not even a callback actually. Since you haven't seen it, without spoiling anything. One of the things I love about the new Star Wars that's not Rian Johnson, one of the things I like about the new Star Wars that's not J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson, one of the things that I like about Star Wars that's not Kathleen Kennedy, Rian Johnson, or J.J. Abrams is the way that they seem to be doing their long-form storytelling, because a bunch of stuff that is set up in Clone Wars in terms of like arcs, like powerful, important arcs, are paid off in Rebels, not Clone Wars. And a lot of things that are happening in Mandalorian are payoffs from Rebels.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's really cool.
It's
And now for something completely different.
I would argue because they're good for you, they're more like the YouTube equivalent of finding that one thing on your diet that feels like a cheat but is still good.
Oh, yeah. Like cottage cheese. Like,
the fuck is wrong with you?
So Taylor will no longer be appearing on Your Lame Friends. He's going to be replaced by any hobo.
Oh, really?
We come across, because even hobos don't like cottage cheese.
no, but it's just kind of watery cheese. Like, how could you not like that?
It's
Smeg, I know.
revolting.
I like cottage cheese.
You like tea.
I enjoy eating cottage cheese. I would eat cottage cheese even if I didn't have to eat cottage cheese.
Well, you've just invalidated literally everything you ever say to our audience ever again.
That was that moment in Parks and Rec where you were like, Ben standing up and, "I like Larry! Oh, Captain, my Captain!" And everybody's like, "Just sit down, you're embarrassing yourself." No, what I was going to say before Taylor committed a war crime.
But I mean, you're not going to get a doctorate watching this show, but you're going to learn something.
He's not getting a doctorate no matter what he does.
No,
he eats
likes
cottage cheese.
And I'm happy. Like, how did that happen?
I've seen you off camera. You were not happy. Like, don't try to play it off.
He's not wrong.
I like that you're like, hey, how did they first start making cheese? That's good enough. I'm not going any further.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, no. Stop right there. I'll take that. I'll just eat that.
Just
I'm not.
throw that shit in a
more
goat stomach.
No more corn for Taylor, only maize.
Oh,
you
damn,
can't drink
dude.
any beer that's not also food. Like, that's just your
I'll
fetish.
just drink mead.
Yeah.
I thought cottage cheese was just going to disappear when the Greatest Generation died,
Yeah.
but apparently not.
Well, they
No,
haven't
I'm
yet.
keeping it alive.
Oh no, we always thought that racism would go out of fashion too, because all the old people would die, and there are new young racists. That's you with food.
Hey, man.
Oh my God.
The
Well,
Venn
yeah,
diagram
no.
of racists and cottage cheese lovers is almost a circle.
This
so.
is crazy. I did not know he liked cottage cheese, or it might have been a suggestion for Do a Nerd Fight, to be perfectly frank.
Holy shit, dude.
I'm more bothered by this than you haven't seen LA Confidential.
Dude, I'm so curious because, like, at what point did you say gross packing material, that's for me?
yeah.
No, it's the ceiling. The
Yes,
stuff they.
it is.
Yeah, that's how they
Because
make
that's what I
it.
used to call it. Was cottage cheese ceilings.
They shave it off. They shave it off the ceiling. They put it right into your bowl.
put it right into milk.
By the way, if you have one of those kinds of ceilings, those ghost poop ceilings, you do not need to worry about Joe Biden's tax plan.
I just, this is mind-blowing to me. This
That
is
I like
mind-blowing to
cottage
me.
cheese?
That someone...
That literally anyone
who I can have a
does.
conversation
I mean,
with.
like, I'd be surprised to learn that a person, let
Yes.
alone someone I know.
Like,
No, you eat it. You eat it for breakfast. Cottage cheese is cheese cereal.
Listen, dude. We all want to live in the Matrix, okay? You don't have to eat the food they
don't.
eat outside it. Like, it's
My
just
my brain tells me that this is juicy and delicious.
Delicious,
yes.
It's
so
disgusting.
gross. And there are things that people eat that are disgusting.
yes.
But you're white, so I'm gonna lay into you.
Yeah.
Like,
How can you just replace someone in the middle of a show and not expect people to notice?
Spirit fingers.
well before
My hands are haunted?
well before the will
William Defoe.
will
Will and Grace.
will
Danger Will Robinson.
The Wisps.
William Shatner.
Saturday Night Live.
Farrell.
Oh.
I would have gotten there eventually.
Plem's like on subscribe.